Well, good morning, YouTube. Lofty's here, the Loftybiker. I popped up to Damrolls again. Got a new bike, a brand new bike. Well, not strictly a brand new bike, it's a facelift. It's the new for 2025 CMX1100. It's had a mild facelift, but they tell me they've reconfigured the gearbox as well and little bits and pieces. So if you're interested in Lofty riding the CMX1100, the Rebel, the big Rebel, you stick around. I'll see you in a minute. Well, good morning, YouTube. Lofty's here. No, I'm not riding the Transalp, although it's a very pretty looking bike. We're taking this one out. It's the Honda CMX1100, and this is a 25 model. It is different. Although Honda are still selling the 24 model alongside it, this has had what you'd call a facelift. I'm not sure why they're selling both together, but it's the DCT. And just a quick one, they've got a colour-coded headlamp nacell. The foot pegs have been moved forwards. And it's also got the square TFT dash. How good's that? Let's go for a ride. Okay then, YouTube, we're away. So it's a cruiser. Lofty's on a cruiser. Okay, so as I said, this one's had a mild update. I'm not sure whether I preferred the old LCD round dash. It's a pity they couldn't have kept the round dash and had the TFT. Anyway, seat feels firm. The pegs are slightly further forward than before. Unfortunately, the brake lever's set very high, so it's quite difficult to, or quite challenging I should say, to get your foot on without putting it on top of the brake lever. Okay, so the steering feels very light indeed. But in sport mode, it's got rain, standard, user, sport anyway. So we'll just see what it goes up like up the lane. Here we go, ready? Yeah, it's got that good old 1100 engine. It does pick its skirt up when you want to give it a bit of thrash. Anyway, let's have a look at it, shall we? So here you go, there you have it. The big Rebel. Gorgeous looking machine, cracking paint job. I do like this orange, like a burnt orange, and it's a metallic as well. Not so keen on the matte black pipe, but in general, it ain't a bad looking bike, is it? And when you look at the price, it's a lot cheaper than Harley. Let's have a sit on it. As you know, Lofty's a big lad, 6'5", 16.5 stone, and this has got a low seat. This will suit those of you 5'3" to 5'10", say. It'll be sweet, it'll be lovely. It's a bit too small for me, but it's a bit better than the old model. They've moved the pegs. So here we go. So I sit back, there's your foot pegs, not too bad at all. Unfortunately, the brake lever needs lowering down slightly, so as it clears when you're there. I'm having to turn my foot out, but it's not bad, there you go. They've altered the handlebars a little bit. They brought them up and backwards slightly, but the pegs have been moved forward. What do you think? Should we have a close-up? Okay, so there you go. We've got the square TFT, the pretty generic one. Let's have a look what else we've got. We've got bar ends, hydraulic front brake adjustable, start, stop all in one go, neutral, drive and manual. We've got the activation for the cruise, and we've got the hazard warnings. There's the reservoir just coming across. We've got the handbrake, we've got the mode button. This is for the trips. We've got the horn, pip pip, proper pip pip. Indicators, fairly tactile. We've got the resume and set for the cruise. So unlike the Africa Twin and the NT, they've put the resume and set on the left side, which is better, I think. You got the flappy paddles forward and backwards for changing gear, and on the top here we got the high and low. The same round Mickey Mouse style bar ends. How good's that? So here we go. I'm not sure what you can see in this dash, but we've got a neutral button with a radial gauge. You can switch to a semi-radial. It's all different, isn't it? Bring it back. So we got rain, user 1, user 2, standard and sport. I've left it in sport. Fuel gauge down the side, 20 degrees, 4 minutes past 12. Shall we have a look round? We've better start it up first, hadn't it, so you can have a good listen. It's a bit of a big berther, isn't it? Big tailpipe. Here we go. Don't sound too bad, does it really? Don't sound too bad. We'll have a look round it and we'll give you some specs. The sun's coming out. Can you see it shining? As I say, you've got that nacelle on the front. It looks quite good, doesn't it? Quite like it. We've got gators. They've been added, I believe, as well. Yeah. Slightly more forward pegs. It ain't bad, is it? Okay, it ain't an Harley, but it's half the price. We'll talk about that in a minute. We've got the ignition key down on the left side here. Very, very, very cruiser-esque. Of course, it's a chain drive. Quite like the wheels. They're like a bronzy colour. Okay, so what exactly have we got? We've got the 2025 Honda CMX1100 DCT, an updated model. This is A2. Unlike the 101 brake on the bigger bikes, well, I call them the bigger bikes, the NT and the Africa Twin, this one has been reduced to 87 brake horsepower. So it is a 4-stroke, 270-degree liquid-cooled parallel twin. As I said, just 87 brake horse at 7,250, 72.3 foot-pounds at 4,750. That's a lot of torque. That's a good low-down slogger, that is. I think this will be a nice bike to tour around on. We've got a 6-speed and a chain drive, like I said. Low, very low, 710mm seat height. It comes in at 13.6 litres of fuel with a 250 kilogram wet. So it's not what you'd call a light bike, it's quite a lardy old girl, isn't it? It's 250 kilos, that's going some, isn't it? It comes in 4 colours. You can have this orange, you can have a blue, you can have a black and you can have a grey. But to be fair, I think the orange looks the best. Let's have a look at the suspension and wheels. We have 43mm telescopic forks with gators. We're running a 130/80/18 on the front, Dunlops, D423Fs, whatever them are, but they look okay. We've only got a single disc, a 330 disc, and a single 4-pot radial. It's good for stopping, it's plenty good enough. It gets you there and gets you stopped. Let's have a look at the rear. Piggyback shocks. We've got twin shocks on this one, they're showers. They look pretty good, don't they? Let's have a look at the back wheel. It is a 180/65/16, also with a single disc, 250mm, and a little 2-pot caliper. I'm not sure whether they're Nissan or not. They're not actually badged up, to be fair. So what do you think? What's it coming at? This bike comes in at 11,700. Now, you can still buy the 24 model. It's very strange that they are actually marketing the 24 model at 10,900 and they're marketing the 25 model at 11,700. So you're paying more for a TFT dash and a mild update. But we've got the colour-coded headlamp, a DCT update, a new screen, we've got the footrests altered, the handlebars altered, the gators, bits and pieces. So there you go. What do you think? Do you like it? It ain't a bad looking bike, is it? And with the 1100, you'd be able to, just stay with anything, wouldn't it? Let's get my helmet on and give it a bit of thrash. One thing I will say before I go any further is, although it's got pillion pegs and a pillion pad, I'll call it a pad, fanny pad, There don't look much leg room, and that don't look very big. Let's have a closer look. Nice big seat, little pillion pad. I don't know how pillion friendly this will be. Anyway, okay, here we go. We're in a 60, dropping into a 50. As I say, I'm in sport mode. I'll drop it into standard at some stage, see if it makes any difference. The island's clear. So here we go, down the hill. Let's get it up to 50. Okay, I've knocked the cruise on 50 mile an hour. I've got that used to operating the cruise, which I moaned about on my NT on the right hand side. Now I've got it on the left hand side. It just doesn't feel so intuitive, but it's something you'd soon get used to. So I'm just getting the feel of it. The twin shocks aren't too bad. They're fairly compliant actually. This isn't the best surface to roads. And that once you're rolling at 50, the steering feels so much more solid. You've got your momentum going like a gyroscopic effect. It's so much better. Yeah, that feels nice. The mirrors aren't too bad. They're okay. Yeah, the handling's fine. Holds a nice line around that bend. Like I say, I've just got the cruise on and we'll hold it at a steady 50. See how we get on. See if we need the breakage. Yes, we need the breakage. That's tightening up a little bit, but it's okay. Away we go again. Yeah, it shoots up to 50. The 1100 engine is so torquey. This 270 throw is really nice. I will say one thing. In this configuration of about 87 brake, it doesn't feel quite as lumpy as mine. One thing I've noticed, I will mention it, these pegs, they are where you put your feet, and when you're paddling around, it's very easy to knock your shins on it, so just be careful, be a little bit mindful. So here we go, clear behind, pulls away nice and easy. Nice gear change, straight up to 50. I'll knock it into standard mode. So here we are in standard mode. It just feels slightly more relaxed. It just changed gear much quicker. So unlike the NT and the Africa Twin, where your user modes and your riding modes are slightly different to the gearbox modes, you can alter them separately. It appears that this, you just put it into drive and then it either goes in sport or manual. And I think when you actually put the user modes up, you can alter the torque control and the amount of braking. But this does feel far more relaxed. We can't activate the cruise. It doesn't work below 30 miles an hour, which is a shame. I do think it's something Honda should address, really, especially in this day and age of, thank you sir, where you've got these 20 zones everywhere, all over the place. It should be nice and handy to have a cruise that worked that low down. But the throttle's lovely. There's no lurch, no lag. The throttle is definitely better than on the NT and the Africa Twin. So the way they've configured the power and lowered it down the rev range, and the torque comes in a bit earlier, it's made the throttle just that little bit more friendly, a little bit more user friendly. Right, so we'll go down through St Denis, up through the chicanes, and we'll take a right, and I'll just compare how it feels in standard to sport. I would imagine, like I said before, if you'd have the shorter leg, like my legs are 34 inches. If you've got like a 30 or a 31 inch leg, I think the actual seating position would be very comfortable. The seat's nice. It's a dish. It's a cup. You sink into it, lovely. Yeah, that pull-away is gorgeous. I suppose if you was looking for your first big cruiser, this wouldn't be a bad go, you know. It's got so much more power than the little 500 Rebel. I know it don't sound a lot, 80 odd brake, but 87 brake, thank you. But it's you know, it's nearly double the Rebel 500 and much more torque. That's very kind of the Asda man, thank you. So here we go in the 50. We're all clear at the garage. We'll take a right here for Trevisco. This is a national, so it'll give us a chance to stretch its legs a little bit. Thank you very much. We're in second. Let's give it a throw. It's not bad in standard, to be fair. Yeah, straight up to 60. Yeah, that's not bad, that ain't. When I get on the top road, I'll drop it back in sport and we'll see how it picks up. Here we are. Bit of breakage, front and back. Yeah, that's not bad. That bit where they repaired the road a couple of years ago is wearing out already. Have a good moan about the roads, can't you? These so-called patches, they're lasting about 3 or 4 years maximum. Just dropping out. Anyway, we'll test the slow riding on the junction. Here we are. So here we go, slow riding. Just turn the handlebars, look where you want to go. 6-7 mile an hour. Yeah, that throttle is good. So if you have ridden the NT and the Africa Twin and you've thought the throttle could be a little bit jerky, but then again, don't forget, I am used to them throttles. This is nice. So we'll just leave it in third gear. Let it roll down the hill under its own momentum. It'll change itself. It's got a DCT, of course. Now, I'm a big DCT fan. I love them. I don't see the point in wasting your time with a clutch if you don't need one. These are autos that are a twin clutch system. So it's like a pre-select. So it seems to know which direction you're going and automatically pre-selects. And all you do is just override it if you want to. Just give it a thumb tap or a finger pull. How easy is that? Flappy paddles. I love flappy paddles. They're great when you're riding spiritedly. And you just need to just wake it up a little bit. They're very, very good. So we're still in the 20. So while we're here, I might as well knock it into sport. So automatically change gear then when I put it into sport. So it does affect the gearbox pattern. Tip it in. Not bad. Okay, we'll just slow down a bit and test them brakes out. So 40 mile an hour, nobody's about, rear brake. Well, I'll give that a proper stamp. That's very green. No skipping, no lurching, no hopping, because the weight's on the back, don't forget, being a cruiser. Works, it does work, good stability device. So here we go, we'll just come round the corner so as we can see. We're all clear behind, front brake. Quite a bit of dive, but to be fair, for a single brake, you know, a single disc, that's not bad. So we'll just drop it down the hill. Like I say, this is a steeper hill than it looks. So here we go, clear behind. 40 mile an hour front and brake. Oh yeah, there's no worries with them brakes. If you want to do an emergency stop, it's easy. One thing I have noticed is the actual up change, the finger, slightly high. I would have preferred that 3 or 4 mil lower. so you can just rest your finger on it, but it's okay. So as I say, we're in sport mode. The gearbox is reacting different. It's changing quicker. It's not holding on to it, but there's foot scrapage there. Shoots up to 60. Yeah, you'd have to be careful you didn't grind the pegs out a bit too much. As I say, I can feel my heels touching on some of these tighter bends. It's nice though. Goes well, stops well. Right, so let's get up to the National, 60 mile an hour. There we are, 60 mile an hour. That's a nice line, lovely. Yeah, good steering. The chassis is not bad. Don't get me wrong, if you start giving it some extreme thrash, you'd soon override it with the piggyback shocks, but in normal day usage, up to the National speeds, not a problem at all. Very good. You literally look where you want to go and it'll take you there. Throttle off. See how it changes down, yeah. 5th, 4th, 3rd. Will it drop to 2nd? Yeah, it's dropped into 2nd. That's not bad. That's what the gear I would have picked. So in sport mode, it's pretty much where you'd want to be. So here we go. So we've got to go around the big island under the 30 and down the hill. We are clear. So we're in 3rd gear. Let's see what it's like down the hill. Here we go. Straight up to 70, not a problem at all. Well, yeah, it's going to be in it. It's an 1100cc bike, it's superb. We've got no screen as such, but the nacelle, I'm getting no dirty wind, no buffeting, just a bit of wind on my chest and helmet. It's not too bad at all. Throttle off. So we'll just throttle down 1, down to 4th. It's going well. We'll take it round the island and come back up the hill. Yeah, you can feel there's when you're going sort of 50 or whatever, you can feel a slight lurch on and off the throttle. You need to be sort of positive with that throttle, either keep it on or off. But I didn't notice it at slow speeds, but I did on coming down there towards the island. So here we go. Straight up to 70, not a problem at all. Okay, I'm just going to wind it off. I don't really want to overtake this car and then pull in straight after. So we'll just drop it back to a steady 55. So what do you think, YouTube? To be fair, if I wanted one, I don't know whether I'd buy the 24 model or the 25 model. I quite like the old round dash, although the LCD and the TFT are very different. The TFT is more modern. It's up to you. I suppose it depends whether you want to spend the extra 800 quid or more, you know. Anyway, what do you think? Have you enjoyed the video? Lofty riding the CMX. I've enjoyed riding it. It's not my type of bike, but I can appreciate for anybody short of the leg, this will be an absolute dream. Because bikes are getting bigger and taller. This will be superb. So if you have enjoyed it, click on that like, subscribe and ring the bell. How about that? Ask me a question. I'm only too pleased to answer. See, there you go. The throttle's okay when you keep it on a constant throttle. It's not bad. We're nearly back at Damrells. Turning right here into Lodge Way. There it is. Good old Damrells. thank you, Luke, for lending me the bike. I've really enjoyed it. So, this is the Lofty Biker saying ta-da for now. Ta-da.